table completion. Table completion was also there in listening module, if you remember, but today we are looking at reading module. Okay, this is a little bit different than listening. Of course, you have to listen for information there. Here you have to read information, but the structure stays the same, that you have a table like, and you have to fill the blanks in the table. So we have this table and we are given some information as the heading of the column and as the heading of the row, and information is blank probably or provided. So something like this will be there in exam, and you have to find answer for these blanks. See that this is the structure of the table, and this is similar to the listening one, and same goes with reading. Yes, good. Now an example will help you to understand it even better. Let me open the example and show you. Here we have question here, which is in the form of table, and then we have passage in the left. Okay, your task is to find the answer for number 10, 11 and 12, which I have marked red for your conveniency. And remember, you have to read also the instructions. We'll discuss that later, just for like a hint, right? Read for information from the article mentioned on the left, dung beetles, and try to find the answer on the right. Okay, good. You will not get more than 3 minutes because this is a blank, and for blank generally we don't get much time. So let's begin. Alright, we are back then. Let's try to find answer for number 10, 11 and 12. Right? You must have written some words, and I'm going to provide you the answer. The answer is early spring, 2 to 5, You can write in words as well. And subtropical. Okay, how did we get the answer? Wait, I mean, when I'm explaining the pointers, it will be clear. But for now, if your answers are correct, wonderful. If not, no worries, we're going to look into pointers as well. Now, pointers are the hints. And the first one is word count. Now, what is this word count? See, we have read this, or we have understood it. It's important when it is blank type question where we have a blank. You have to know how many words you have to provide as answer. So to know the word count, well, read the instructions. They are all connected. Every time it's the same thing. Now look here. They have mentioned choose no more than 3 words. What does it mean? If I choose 1 word as answer, it will go. 0 word is not given, right? So I won't choose it as answer. 2 words as answer, it's correct. 3 words, still correct. But 4, no, not allowed. No more than 3. Clear? Hence, it's important because let's say the answer shows as 4 and you have to eliminate the obvious part of the answer and keep it as 3 or 2. Okay? Good. Second one is understand the table. What is the meaning of understand the table? You have to understand using titles and headings. Now, if you look here, we have a heading of the passage. Every time we will have some heading, which is dung beetle. Dung beetle is type of a beetle. So they're going to talk all about beetle. If I was not giving you title here, you'll be confused. What am I talking about? Right? What are these species I'm talking about? Without the title, it's difficult for you to understand what it is about. And understanding is the key. When you're trying to find any answer, understanding the passage is the key. And you have to start understanding using the heading. It takes like 2 seconds to read the heading and it provides a lot of information. Cool? Good. Second information or third, as far as let's say our pointer is rows and columns provide you a lot more information than you think. It's a plenty of information. Now, when we have here, we have these words or phrases as columns. I think you know what columns are, the vertical ones always, and the rows are the horizontal one. So here we have Spanish and South American ball roller as your rows, and your species are preferred climate, start of active period, and number of generations per year are your columns. This will give you information about the cell. So when I intersect preferred climate and Spanish, my answer is provided here. And same goes for the number 10, start of active period and Spanish. So when do these Spanish pieces start their active period? It will be here. When do they start in the case of South American baller? Here. So columns provide you information about what the answer is towards. Okay, read the columns and rows very carefully. Without columns and rows, this is not even a table. Okay, so let me just zoom in a little bit and help you with that, what I mean by that. So look here, preferred climate. What is it? Temperate. Now this is an example which can be which can help you, which can be a hint for you for the next answer. Right? Same way, if they have mentioned for Spanish, I can find for South African ball roller as well. This must be a temperature, or I mean this must be a weather, isn't it? Same goes for the next one. Now in exam you will get at least 6 or 7 questions. I've reduced this because I wanted you to do in the screen itself, so that no material is required. Okay, you understand my point about rows and columns, right, with this example? Well, if you understand, good. Otherwise you can write a mail or you can write in comments. Okay, now we have to predict. Now we have seen this earlier as well in rows and columns. We get information from rows and column what could be an answer, right? And also other cells help. Like other cells, what they do is they try to help you by giving a hint towards the answer. In this case we have temperate. Temperate is providing you a hint that 12th one must be a weather or a climate. Right, what kind of climate is required for South African ball roller? Like we have preferred climate for Spanish, the species, right? Plus it must be a climate. Going for second one, that is second column, start of active period. Now when I say active period, not just the way it provide information in temperate in previous case, here it must be some kind of time. Number of generation per year, that means it must be a number here. You're getting my time here, right? I mean what I'm trying to say here. Here it must be time, here it must be a number. So this is called predicting an answer and looking for that particular answer. Now you won't be focusing on every word. You'll be focusing on climate, time, and number. Nothing else. It becomes so easy, trust me, when you just try to predict an answer, search for it. Yeah? Okay. Sequence is always maintained. What is the meaning of that? The answers appear in the same sequence as the question. Okay, let me show you what I mean by that. So we have here early spring. And let me explain where did we find the answer. It was a little bit tricky one. Species, Spanish was being there mentioned with French. In the cooler environments of the state of Virginia, I'm reading from here by the way, the large French species, which is mentioned, is matched with smaller temperate climate Spanish species. So this word comes in picture and they have mentioned temperate. That means we are on the right track. The former means this is a way of writing former and latter. In the earlier sentence we have information former equal to first and latter equal to second one. So this is our former and this is our latter. That means first one and second one. So the former means French species are slow to recover from the winter cold and produce only 1 or 2 generations of offspring from late spring until autumn. They mention the time. That means we have to look for this information for latter, because we have been asked start of active period for Spanish. The latter, which multiply rapidly in early spring, produce 2 to 5 generations annually. Now if you look here, there are 2 answers given so quickly you can miss them. The latter, which is Spanish, which multiply rapidly in early spring. Active period, multiply rapidly. Clear? The synonym they have changed. I mean they have changed some words to distract you. When do they multiply? When do they have active period? Early spring. And there we have answer. Second one, produce 2 to 5 generations. Now you can write like this. You can write like 2 to 5. Answer is still correct because we have 3 words. No more than 3 words. That means 3 words are allowed. Right. And if we continue, we can also find answer for the next one. You got my point, what I mean by that. So first answer came here, early spring. Second one here. And if you keep looking, the next one here. See, sequence is maintained. If you find first information, Spanish temperate preferred climate is here. That means we have found the beginning. If we found the beginning, it's easy to continue. Now we don't have to look anywhere back from here to here. This is useless information for us because we have no answer over there. Right, we are going to save a lot of time by understanding where the answer starts from and where it ends. Okay, and time is money in reading, trust me. If you have time left, so think of an example. I give you 120 minutes instead of 60 minutes to find 40 answers in reading. All of you will get 40 or 39 at least, right? So time is money. What if your 60 minutes, can we convert it to 120 minutes because we finish our question paper or the whole thing in 35 minutes? So a similar technique, right? You have plenty of time to recheck, to solve the answer which you have doubts on. So it gets easier for you to score well. Last but not the least is the grammar and spelling. Now in our case, in our example, grammar is not that a big deal because we have just one word answer. But in case of a little bit longer blanks, grammar will be taken care. But if see, answers are incorrect according to the spelling, you won't get score, or you're going to get marked for that. If instead of early you write spelling like this, early, this is incorrect. You have to write the correct spelling. Okay, incorrect spelling is considered incorrect answer, though they understand you found the right answer, but with incorrect spelling, grammar will help you to find if this is the right answer. If you place it in the blank and see if it is making sense. Good? Okay, you understand that part. I think we have discussed it plenty of the time in all the question types, so it's easy to understand. And that's the end of your chapter.